So it has been a while since I have posted on my channel. I think about a month and a half or so, maybe about 2 months, but I am officially back, I guess. So yeah, let's get into this. Hey everyone, it's Brandy and welcome back to my channel, Brandy Janae's Bookshelf. Like I said in the little intro part, if everything went according to plan, it has been a while since I have posted on my channel. I think the last time I posted was early November. I double checked, in the last video I posted was a book haul for October. And I think I mentioned either in that video or my November TBR, if I posted one, that my schedule was going to be a little bit hectic because I had one of my coworkers who was out for 6 weeks, and for 2 of those weeks I was doing a lot of overtime where I was working doubles. Kind of figured that I wouldn't really be posting during that time, and I think because I had ended up working so much, I ended up getting burnt out, and I honestly did not feel like doing anything for that last month and a half after that period of time where I was working so much ended. For a while I wasn't reading or watching any booktube videos. Like, I kind of just like shut down that entire part of my life. I was watching Netflix for a little bit, but mostly I was just playing The Sims or watching Sims videos because that was something that wasn't super stressful for me. And not that reading was stressful, but I felt like I just wasn't getting any joy out of it. And when I did start reading again, I was reading or rereading a lot of the same books. It was just kind of a mess. And because of that, I'm still debating on what I want to do for like my end of the year videos, because honestly I didn't really prep. It was just kind of the end of the year kind of fell apart for me as far as organization and making sure I got like things down. I stopped kind of recording what I was reading. You know, normally I count all of my rereads and stuff like that, and I just wasn't keeping track of what I was reading. I was kind of just putting stuff on to have in the background, just to like say I was reading, or not to say I was reading, but just to have something that I was already interested in and not have to worry about not liking something new because I was in such a crappy mood around that time. So with that being said, I'm not sure what I want to do as far as the typical end of year videos. If you guys would like to see anything from me, definitely let me know in the comments, because I'm not sure how much I'm willing to post. I think I want to at the very least do all the books I read in 2019 now. Yes. I think I read, or at least according to Goodreads, I read 231 books. And I know for sure that some of them, like I said, I didn't count because they were rereads. So some of my typical videos that I would normally do around this time, I'm probably not going to end up doing, because I feel like I want to just get a fresh start. But if you guys are interested in seeing anything from me from my 2019 reading, definitely let me know. Also, before I get into the actual purpose of this video, sorry this intro is really long, I would like to say thank you to everyone who stuck around in my little hiatus that I had. Also, thanks to all of the new subscribers who have found my channel and stuck around even though I wasn't posting during that time. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. And yeah, let's just get into this video finally. As you could tell from the title, this is a TBR for January, and I'm still not back fully to how I was reading before. I'm not completely back to the way I was when it came to my reading, or to the way I was reading last year, or for the majority of last year. So I decided to switch up the way I'm doing my TBRs a little bit. I have a lot less books that I'm like showing off in these videos. I obviously still have a lot of books that I want to read. I actually counted out my physical TBR, like every single book that I own that I haven't read yet, and I'm kind of ashamed at how many I have and have not read. And yeah, I want to do a bit better about that, so that's part of this video, which I'm gonna get to. But as far as picking out specific books, I only have a few, and I think a good number of the ones that I'm going to show off to you guys in this video, at least that I specifically picked, are books that I have already read this year. This video should be going up on the 7th, and as of right now I have finished 4 books so far this year, and that's strictly because of audiobooks. Let me show off those to you guys before I actually get into anything else. So the first one that I have is Into the Fire by Janine Frost. This is the 4th and final book in the Night Prince series, which is one of the spin-offs of her Night Huntress series. And then after that I went right into Shades of Wicked, also by Janine Frost. This is the first book in another of her spin-offs from the Night Huntress series. This one is the Night Rebel series, and this one is following Anne and Veritas. If you have read the Night Huntress series, they both appear in that series, so later in the series, I believe, for both of them. So if you have already read that, then you will know these characters. If not, pick up the series. And the other 2 books that I have already finished this year is Some Girls Bite and Friday Night Bites by Chloe Neal. And these are both technically rereads for me. I decided to pick these up because I remembered that they are available through the Audible Escape program, which used to be the Audible Romance package, if you don't know that already. But I own this entire series, and one of the things I mentioned, I think last year, but I'm carrying on to this year, is I really want to make progress on reading series. And once I finish this series, that will take a lot of my physical books off my TBR, or maybe not a lot, but like 13 books off my physical TBR. These are, like I said, technically rereads for me, but I decided to just pick them up because when I was reading them, I was doing something else, and I was like, I need an audiobook to put on in the background, and these were readily available, and I knew I wanted to read this series this year. So got started on this so I can knock the rest of the series off of my TBR. And with that, I'm going to go into the rest of my TBR of books that I haven't finished yet, or that I haven't read yet. So I actually just finished Friday Night Bites before I started to film this video. So once I'm done, I would like to start Twice Bitten by Chloe Neal. These usually don't take that long to get through, so I may end up finishing this before the day is over, depending on how the audiobook is going. But this is definitely going to be my next audiobook read. Then I also want to pick up The Guinevere Deception by Kirsten White. And this is the book that came in the December Outcry box. And the last 2 books that I picked are also both technically rereads for me. One I read somewhat recently. The other one I read years ago when I first got back into reading. And it was like my last year of college, so that was like maybe 2015 or so, maybe 2014, I don't remember. But I picked up a physical copy of it recently, and I just really want to finish off the series. Anyway, the first one is Everyone's Getting Married, Volume 1 by Izumi Miyazano. And the final book that I have definitely picked to try to read this month is The Immortal Wars by Julie Kagawa. Before I end this video, I did want to mention, you might have seen it in the thumbnail picture for this video, but I decided to create a TBR jar. Now, I did this a little bit differently. People might have done it this way, but instead of doing all of the books that I own, I decided to do like a challenge TBR jar. So right off the top, I got one of the green ones. I have Read a Sci-Fi. I'm going to pick the challenges, and then I'll get the books that I decide to pick for this month. All right, the next one I have is to read a middle grade novel. The last challenge that I'm going to do for this month, I don't know if that's going to focus, but it says to read a book outside of your comfort zone. So I'm going to find 3 books that fit these challenges, and then I will be right back in a second for you guys. I'm back and I have picked my 3 books for the 3 challenges that I pulled out of my TBR jar. So like I said, the first one was to read a sci-fi book, and for that one I decided to go with This Mortal Coil by Emily Suvada. The next one was to read a middle grade novel, and for that one I decided to pick The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. And the final challenge that I picked out for this month was to read a book outside of my comfort zone, and I decided to pick The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. I'm pretty sure that through Hoopla there is an audiobook that I can check out, because I was planning on reading this before in 2019 as well, but I never did get to it. So I could definitely put the audiobook in and be able to get through this. This is outside of my comfort zone because I've mentioned this several times on my channel, but just in case you're new or you haven't seen me talking about it before, I'm not really a fan of historical fiction. There are very few instances where I like it, but I received this in an Owl Crate box and I've heard good things about it. I feel like this turns out to be way more books on my TBR than I had initially planned, but I think this is still a good fun way to pick out some books that I might not have picked up otherwise, or might not have picked up as soon. So let me know what you guys think about what I decided to do for this month. Also let me know what some of the books are you're planning to read this month. And the last thing, and I'm asking for a lot, you can either comment on all of these things or just one, but let me know if there are any specific end of the year videos you would like to see from me. Let me know in the comments. And yes, I guess I will see you guys again in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.